Action Figures! Oi, 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 oi! Outback Action Figures! Oi, 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 oi!
G'day, how's it going? And welcome back to Outback Action Figures. Now for today, I just thought we'd do something a little bit different. We'll run through some of the new Marvel Legends figures that were just announced a couple of days ago. The team from Hasbro, they did a live stream where they revealed this new Build-A-Figure wave. So there's 7 figures. It's a real mixed bag of characters. There's no sort of connecting theme. They even mentioned that themselves, you know. So we've got like Dark Avengers, X-Men, there's a Deadpool, Ghost Rider, you know, just a real random mix. The 7 figures each comes with a Build-A-Figure piece, a leg, arm, torso, etc. If you collect the whole set, you can build this extra character, which is called Box. Now, apparently he is from Alpha Flight, the Canadian superhero team. And look, I've never heard of or seen this guy before, so I'll be honest, I'm not interested in the actual Build-A-Figure, which is good in a way because it means I don't have to buy the whole set to build this character. I can gladly skip on the ones I'm not interested in and not have to worry about the actual Build-A-Figure. So, I just thought we'll go through the rest of them in order of how interested I am or how likely I am to end up buying them. So I'll start off with the Lady Deadpool. Now, obviously, I've already mentioned I'm a big Deadpool fan, and I already do have the Lady Deadpool figure they released a few years ago, but this one does look like a bit of a nice update. It's got the pinless joints, and just in general, yeah, it looks like a pretty decent figure, so as long as it's not crazy expensive, I'll probably end up buying this one. Next up, we've got the Ghost Rider. This is the Robbie Reyes version, and I believe this is the same sculpt they were going to include with that sort of failed HasLab project from a couple of years ago that was going to come with his car, the Engine of Vengeance, I believe that was called. But yeah, that project ended up not getting funded, so a couple of years later, now it looks like we do actually get this version of Ghost Rider, so I'm pretty keen to grab that one. They did say that the skull that they've got on this version now looks very silver, and apparently it's going to be more white in the actual final release. So it's just still working through some different prototypes, I guess. Next up, we've got the Ultimate Wolverine. Now, this one does look pretty cool. I've heard mentions that, you know, it has a bit of a Winter Soldier vibe with the sort of face mask he's got, you know, covering his mouth. And for me personally, I just love red and black costumes. I think they just make cool designs. A big part of why I'm such a Deadpool fan, you know, he has that classic red and black outfit. And yeah, this one looks pretty cool. Not a huge fan of the way the claws look. They just sort of look like tubes sticking out of his hands rather than actual blades. But, you know, it's a minor sort of nitpick. Again, we'll just see. I'll probably end up grabbing this one if I can find it. Right, next up we've got Dark Avengers Hawkeye. Now, this was actually Bullseye in the Hawkeye costume. I haven't read heaps of the Dark Avengers storyline. I'm familiar with some of it, but yeah, I don't actually have any other specifically Dark Avengers characters. Like, I don't have a Dark Avengers display, for example, so I'll have to see. I might end up grabbing this one because it does look pretty cool, but yeah, it's not at the top of the list. Moving on, next we've got another version of Psylocke. Now, I believe this is from the Outback X-Men, which I'm not hugely familiar with that storyline either, so, you know, this one looks okay, but to be honest, I probably won't end up getting it. Next, we've got US Agent. Now, this one, I'm just not a fan of this design, you know, this look for his costume, and whatever that sort of weird effect is that they've got on the shield. Not keen on how this one looks, so I'm not going to worry about it. And finally, we've got Marina. Now, this is one that I've never seen or heard of before. Apparently, this is also from the Alpha Flight team. Now, just in general, yeah, I'm not familiar with this character, and I'm not really interested in how it looks either. It's a novel concept, I guess, the way they've got the sort of webbing on the hands. But yeah, just in general, it doesn't fit with anything else in my display. I don't particularly like how it looks, so yeah, just not going to bother with this one. Alright, so that's it for that set. Now we'll move on. They have announced a bunch of Marvel Rivals characters. Now I'll admit I haven't actually played the game either, so I don't have a huge connection to the specific looks that these characters have. Some of them do look pretty cool. I've seen, you know, the artwork and all the sort of alternate skins and stuff like that. Some of them do look cool, but yeah, just having not played the game myself, I don't really have that sort of, you know, deep connection to these looks. But yeah, so we'll take a look at them. The first pack we've got is the Venom and Jeff the Landshark. Now, these both look pretty cool. The Venom in particular, you know, it's a cool design. Venom is usually just a cool looking character. I've got a ton of Venom figures already, so this one will fit in, but like I said, I've already got a bunch of them, so yeah, we'll have to see. Now, the Jeff figure, you know, I'll admit, he does look pretty cute too, but it does look like he doesn't really have a whole lot of articulation. Possibly just in the neck, where the head sort of connects to the body. It might be able to swivel a bit from side to side, but otherwise really doesn't look like he gets a whole lot of movement out of him at all. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how much this pack ends up costing. As far as I'm aware, they haven't announced any actual prices yet, or at least I haven't seen them. So yeah, we'll see. If it's not stupidly expensive, I might end up picking this one up. Next, we've got Moon Knight. Now, this one is a really cool design. It is a little bit stylized, of course, because of the game, but it's not too over the top. I think, as long as he's not, like, crazy tall or the proportions aren't too lanky or anything, I think he would still fit in with the rest of the collection. So, yeah, I'll possibly end up grabbing this one. Now, he does come with 2 capes. He's got the one sort of splayed open in a flight mode, and then the other one just kind of draping behind his back. It's a little bit windswept off to one side, but it does appear that they're a bit of a solid plastic, well, it's like a rubbery kind of material or something like that. And I imagine there'll probably be some customizers out there that are already planning to make a soft goods cape for them. So, yeah, that one's pretty cool. I'll probably end up grabbing that, but yeah, again, we'll just have to see on the prices. Next, we've got the Punisher. Now, another character I'm a big fan of. I love most of the different styles they've done for Punisher. This particular one is obviously very stylized, and the chunky proportions, relative to how he looks in the game, it does seem to match that game design, but again, it's very unrealistic. He's just massive, it's cool, but it just doesn't fit with the rest of the collection. So, we'll have to see. I might end up grabbing this one, but again, it just comes down to the price. If he's ridiculous, then yeah, I probably won't, but we'll see. If I can find him, on a good deal, then yeah, I probably will grab this because it does look cool. Next up, we've got the Spider-Man and Luna 2-pack. Now, I'll just admit straight away, I'm not a fan of this design for Spider-Man. It's just a bit different. It's not the worst thing ever, but yeah, just not keen on how this one looks, and he doesn't appear to have a whole lot in the articulation either, so I'll probably skip this one altogether, to be honest. And Luna, yeah, she's kind of cool. They did make a point to say that this is apparently the first time they've done a winking face in Marvel Legends, so I guess that's something interesting. And yeah, she does have the big snowflake sort of power effect as well. So that's about it for the rival stuff. And finally, they've got the Cyclops visor, which is from their line of prop replica pieces. I've got a bunch of the other ones, some of the Iron Man helmets and the Star-Lord and Black Panther and the Infinity Gauntlets, Thor's hammer, all those kind of stuff. So this would be a cool little sort of display piece to fit in the shelf with those. I couldn't see myself actually wearing it. Maybe I'll try it on once just to see how it looks, but it's not something, I'm not going to cosplay Cyclops, for example. So not desperate to grab this one, but again, we'll just see. Depending on the price, I might end up grabbing that just to add to the display on the shelf. So, in general, we've got a few interesting things here. Some, maybe not quite so much. It's cool to see them try something new with the Marvel Rivals figures. I know the game and the character designs are pretty popular at the moment. We've seen Blockies do them, and I'm sure there was somebody else as well has made figures or model kits of these designs from the game. So it's cool to see Marvel Legends have a go at it, but I think ultimately it's going to come down to what price they actually charge for them. I think that's going to be the deciding factor, for me especially. Alright, well that just about wraps it up for today, but let me know in the comments if there's any of these new reveals that you're interested in. And for the rival stuff, which other characters or alternate skins do you reckon they should have a go at next? And coming up next on the channel, we will have the Mafex Batman villains. It looks like Catwoman won that poll, so she'll be the first one up, and then we'll take a look at the other 3 afterwards. Well, thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you next time. Cheers! See ya!